I'm starting to sound like a broken record here. Remember last month when I told you that July was absolutely insane? Well, August decided to say, hold my beer. We are now at 26 straight months of this madness, and I'm running out of ways to say Saskatchewan is still on fire, real estate speaking. But here's the thing. If you've been following along, you know what's coming. And I've got one stat later in this video that is going to blow your mind about what's happening in a small city right now. Plus, I'll show you exactly why Saskatoon buyers are basically playing real estate on hard mode, going insane, and I'm also going to help you understand when this hot streak might actually come to an end.
This is the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast.
So in August, there was 1,559 sales across the province, up 4% from last year, 15% above the 10-year average. We are looking at over 2 full years of this sustained growth. And here's the kicker. New listings dropped another 5% in August. At this point, I'm wondering if people just forgot that they can actually sell their homes. In reality, I do think that those low listings, it's not that the listings aren't coming on the market, I just think there's such incredible strong buyer demand. But stick around here because when I break down what's happening region by region, you are going to see some numbers that will make you question everything you thought you knew about Saskatchewan's real estate market. So if we take the full province, we've got 5,168 active listings. It sounds okay, but you know that we're going to go a little bit deeper here, and over 1,000 of those listings are already conditionally sold, gone, off the market. So really, we're looking at about 4,100 homes that buyers can actually get their hands on. And here's the provincial supply situation. We are sitting at 3.3 months of supply. Anything under 4 months is considered a seller's market. So we are deep still in seller's territory. The wild part, we're 52% below the 10-year average for inventory. Again, this is not a shortage, this is becoming a crisis. Now for prices, the provincial benchmark hit $372,200. That's actually down slightly from July's high of $372,700, but it's still 8% higher than last August. Across the board, some places are seeing modest growth, others are absolutely exploding. Here's where it gets super interesting, and I'm talking about price jumps that are making some small towns more expensive than they've ever been. Just touching on the regions quickly, Saskatoon, bigger region, we're sitting at 2.4 months of supply. That's brutal for buyers. This region is 42% below their 10-year inventory average. Sales are down slightly at 1,440 for the month, but still 17% above the long-term average. Regina, Moose Mountain, 2.9 months of supply. Inventory sitting at 44% below the 10-year average. They had 858 sales in August, which is 27% above their historical norm. Prince Albert region, they're actually seeing sales growth up 25% year over year with 222 sales, but their inventory 74% below the 10-year average. Swift Current, Moose Jaw, 120 sales in August, and they're sitting at 5.1 months of supply. One of the only regions that's not in a shortage. Yorkton, Melville, 146 sales. Their inventory is 70% below the 10-year average. The northern region, the smallest market with just 36 sales, but even at 36 sales, they're 52% below normal inventory levels. 5 out of the 6 regions are sitting at least 40% below their normal inventory levels. This shortage is everywhere. Real estate investing does not have to be a full-time job. Randall, Hoeber and Boys Group Realty provide complete property management services in Yorkton and surrounding areas, allowing investors to enjoy passive income without the headaches of day-to-day management. From finding tenants to handling maintenance and rent collection. Whether you own a property or are just getting started in the market, Randall, Hoeber and Boys Group Realty makes it simple. Call Randall Hoeber at 306-782-1323 or email info@ralixenterprises.com to take the next step towards hands-free real estate investing. Your property, our expertise. Whether it's your home, business, or farm, Pioneer Solar and Renewables has you covered. As leaders in residential, commercial, and agriculture solar solutions, they make clean energy easy and affordable. Visit pioneersolarenergy.com or give them a call to begin harnessing the power of the sun today. Are you investing in real estate? Let Krishna with Boys Group Realty take care of everything. Finding properties, purchasing, renovations, leasing, and management, leaving you to focus on building wealth. Whether it's a single rental or an entire portfolio, serving Saskatoon and surrounding areas, helping maximize cash flows and minimize stress. If you're looking for an expert to manage your investments, reach out today, home@meetkrishna.ca. Now just touching on some individual cities and where prices are going completely off the rails. Saskatoon hit another record price of $435,900, 451 sales in August, and nearly 1/3 of their listings are already conditionally sold before buyers even get a chance. Regina, 356 sales. Prices are up to $341,300, up 7% from last year. It is still the more reasonable of our big cities, but now the smaller markets are absolutely exploding. Prince Albert up 12% year over year. Moose Jaw also 12%. Estevan is up 13%. Humboldt, a shocking 15%. But the stat I promised that would really blow your mind, and honestly, when I first saw this number, I had to double check it. Melfort is up 19% year over year. In 1 year, a city of 5,000 to 6,000 people, that is insane price acceleration. When small towns start posting numbers like that, it tells you that this housing shortage has spread, not just in Saskatoon and Regina, but it's everywhere. Now, before I wrap up this month's real estate update, I did want to talk to you about something that I thought was an interesting concept that was introduced to me by a realtor called the Westward Housing Ripple. He didn't call it that, I've named it that, but what it basically means for Saskatchewan's future. There's this pattern of what happens in BC eventually happens in Alberta, and then what happens in Alberta eventually happens in Saskatchewan. So let's take us back. Calgary had a record-breaking year in 2024. Prices went bonkers, driven by buyers fleeing Ontario and BC, but now their market has cooled significantly. Sales are down, inventory is up. Here's the thing. Saskatchewan's hot market won't last forever, just like Calgary's didn't. And here's what's crucial to understand. When Calgary's market cooled, prices didn't crash, they just stopped growing as fast. A cooling market doesn't necessarily mean that prices fall off a cliff. It just means the crazy 7, 15, 19% year over year gains we're seeing right now will eventually moderate. So if you're a buyer feeling frustrated, remember that this intensity won't last forever. Markets are cyclical, and if you're a seller thinking this will never end either, well, Calgary sellers thought the same thing 18 months ago. So the key is understanding that cooling and crashing are two completely different things. And if we look to the west, we can often get an idea of what might be coming our way. So here's a prediction for the future. In a year's time, we are not going to be in the same hot market. We are likely going to be in a much more stable place. The Saskatchewan Realtors Association supports over 1,700 realtors across the province. Their members provide expert insights to help you navigate the market. Visit sra.ca for monthly stats, industry updates, and to find a realtor near you. To wrap this up, Saskatchewan is clearly in the middle of something historic, a 26th consecutive month of above average sales, inventory shortages in every region, and small cities posting double-digit price growth. Drop a comment and let me know, are you seeing this craziness in your market, your neighborhood? Are you one of the people driving these numbers? Are you a buyer right now? And do you think the ripple effect theory that my realtor friend introduced to me holds water? I'll see you next month with the September data. And honestly, based on what I'm seeing in these regional breakdowns, I have a feeling that we're not done with record-breaking numbers yet. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. If you like this market update, hit the like button and consider subscribing to make sure you're staying up to date with what's happening in our real estate market. Until next week, my name is Ron Quaroni, your Saskatchewan mortgage professional. Bye for now.